What Quran says, we sent you down to earth. They keep missing. It says, when there's a turmoil in the garden in heaven, that we cast you down to earth in the Quran. From where? The angels come down. From where? From floating around in the sky. No, they sent you down to Ankh, which is earth, the blue planet. They sent you here from other galaxies. When you violated the law, intergalactical law, you was cast down here like prisoners. You all are wayward, as you would call it. I don't know a better word for it. That you all are assigned to a prison. Earth is a prison that you all are in. And you are people who rebel, who would listen to Satan, as you call him, which was a Zazilla then, or Tanush. You listen to him, your father, and you've been assigned to earth until you overcome that. Until you turn and give your total reverence to Allah, Alladhi, La ilaha illa huwa. But you incorporate in that, even that when you say Huwa, you have to say God, Allah, God, God, Allah. You keep interjecting. You personify him and say he was Master Farad Muhammad, or he was Yahweh ben Yahweh. You always have to do something rather than to just serve the omnipotent source of the Hawa, or way is inside you, the essence of life. So now you've been assigned to this prison, which is called Arduk, the blue rock earth, until you, which they say are born again. And born again of what they say? Of the body of the spirit. Of the spirit. Y'all must be born again of the spirit. You must be transformed from being this mortal being who is destined to die back to immortality. Your father, you must become a supreme being again in order to be worthy of intergalactical traveling again. So now what has happened, the devil's seed is in the earth, mixing in with the God seed as you'd have it, and it's keeping you all bound to the planet and creating new dogmas every day, new deviations from the fundamental truth and calling religions and sects and all different types of Islamic, Sunni, Shia, Ahmadiyya, Bilal, black Muslims, Hindu, Buddhists, and just creating new dogmas to keep you from seeing the straight of Sirat al-Mustaqim, as they call it, the Sirat al-Mustaqim, the straight way of those who made the pathway through the galaxies. The Sirat when they say in the Quran, اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. They're telling you, I want to be guided, adding up to al-Mustaqim. I want to be guided that way. I want to get back out of there. Sirat al-Ladina and Amta alayhim. The steering that Sirat of those who you are giving your grace, Allah Ta'ala. I don't want to be like those people who got the everlasting curse, who's damned to this earth forever. What a darling. Or those who deviated off that path that was leading from Malakut to Nasut and went somewhere else. Or as they translate in modern times, have left the path of Deen al-Islam and went into other denominations of thought. And you deviate from the path of Deen al-Islam when you deviate from the path of Mullah Ibrahim, when you deviate from the religion that Allah Ta'ala gave to the Prophet Adam, which was the way you should work your way back to Jannah to Idris. Back out of this plane and back into Malakut, the domain of angelic beings from which most of you have come. But some people here have married an everlasting pact with a Zazila or Tanush, this being who ruled who tried to overthrow Mikael in Malakut prior to the birth of your planet. As a result of that, was cast down. Some mortals have succumbed to him and begin to worship him in a subtle kind of way. One of his names is God. And they've taken it and called Allah God and Jehovah God in Akhira, etc., etc., etc. You follow? So you just happen to touch on a very sensitive subject. And I am here to try to bring you all back to that teaching. But I got to start with what you understand. I got to start giving you what you think you want, so you're learning how to think on the level of what I have to give, or what you know you need. But I can't start and out, visiting in and out of here. Different beings speak to you different times through me. Different trying to answer all of your questions to prepare you for the real knowledge, the real information that you have to have after you get through wobbling in how great you are and how you got here and how you're Abraham and you're Peter and you're this. When you finish all that ego tripping, then I can get down to teaching you the truth about things and prepare those who are supposed to leave here, to prepare so when the ship does come, they can go. Your father? And I know that sounds crazy, but he wants to make me sound crazy. That's why he made movies like Star Trek, because he knew this knowledge. The devil, Iblis, he knows these things. And that's why he saturates the television with a bunch of things like fiction, so that when the final truth comes, I say, your whole concept of religion in the Bible is wrong. You don't even know what you're talking about. You're talking about intergalactical beings. You're not talking about angels. You're talking about the ultimate source of all existence. You're not talking about God and Jehovah. Those are just expressions. When you say Allah, you're saying Elohim, Yahoo, all he who is. And you cannot define him while still confined to this prison called the physical